Okay. Uh, this will make you famous 100%, David. So
Great.
just be
And
prepared.
now you've said it on a recorded line.
Okay, good. So I'm just going to ask you a few questions. We'll keep it super casual.
Okay.
So the first one is just describe a bit about what you do and your role, and even how you've come to do that.
Well, professionally, I'm founder and CEO of a company called Ascend. And Ascend is serving entrepreneurial CPAs to help them grow and reach their goals. It is a startup, in the sense that it didn't exist less than a year ago.
Mhm.
The pace of growth, though, is really, really fast because a lot of our growth comes through acquisition. So you can literally go out and purchase your growth. And so there's some interesting leadership challenges that comes with that. How I got into it is that I realized, about a decade ago that an excellent business is one of the most powerful vehicles that we have as humanity to lift people up. And I wanted to be a part of doing that kind of work. Um, and a lot of private equity firms, of which one is an investor in my company, don't see the people and the businesses that they're building. They just see good industries and good business models. And I just became really passionate about doing it differently. And I paired up with a private equity firm who had a similar passion, called Alpine Investors. But we believe that what we're doing is important because it's better for the people that work in the industries that we operate in. And if we treat them right, then it'll be good for us too.
Yeah, I love that. And I know that to be true about you because of the time we've spent together. Um, and I also know that you have had some of the world-class training. You've been to, you know, probably arguably one of the best business schools in the nation. You've had incredible experiences. So what was it that you were even looking to do when you were considering us working together?
I had three things on my mind. One was I was facing the biggest personal career decision of my life. And I wanted someone to walk through that with. The second thing was that I had a blind spot that I became not blind to. And I realized one thing that is going to hold me back as a leader is if I cannot learn how to respond instead of react in a triggering situation. And sometimes I could and sometimes I couldn't. And I was really wanting to work on that with somebody. And I also just, as life gets busier, I was also thinking about energy management. I had noticed that when I'm taking care of myself, I lead people better, and that gets harder to do. So those are the things I had in my mind when I
Yeah,
looked at you.
that's awesome. So what were some of the benefits that you found uh, just as a result of the time that we were able to spend together?
Well, I can say with total confidence, mission accomplished on all fronts.
Mhm.
Uh, I will always remember your impact on me as I went through this career decision. And I can say with hindsight that I absolutely made the right decision. But even before I had the benefit of hindsight, I knew that I had made the right decision. And a lot of the reason why was because of the way um, you anchored me to think through the lens of the things that are most important to me. And even though they are the most important to me, that did not necessarily make it easier to process. So it took, you'll remember
Mhm.
it took a while for me to
Mhm.
chew on this and think about it, process it, and try all those things in lots of different ways. But I got there, and it was very much in large part thanks to the walking through that with you. Um, on the respond versus react thing, we spent a lot of time working through a bunch of different frameworks that just help you become a more self-aware leader. And one for example was just learning the practice of mindfulness, which when I first heard of that, I was like, skeptical, I guess. I should,
Yeah.
I was not
Yeah.
sure what the connection was, but I realized eventually, like, wow, like this is it. Like if you can master this, like that is the key to like controlling yourself in a triggering situation and choosing to respond or react. So that was very, very eye-opening for me. Um, we walked through a lot of things that just helped describe who I am and the things that are natural for me, which also increases the self-awareness. So that was really, really great for me. And I also loved all your different frameworks on and frameworks and tools for managing energy. We were able to get through a lot with that too.
Yeah, that's awesome. And I am I'm cheering you on, man, for good, and what last question, I know you have to run. What would you say to somebody who's considering working with me?
Do it. First of all, just do it. But here's why. So as a coach, from my perspective, you do everything right. Like you're present, you ask great questions, you listen well, you bring the energy when it's needed, and you dial it back when it's needed. You've got the content, for curious people to chew on. And you cared. I always feel like you cared really deeply about me.
Mm.
And I remember on that point, I remember getting a long voice note from you before a much needed vacation that I had planned.
Mm.
And it was a super busy time for me. I was stressed with this big career decision. We had big things going on at the company that I was working for. And man, I listened to that thing over and over, and it was just what I needed heading into that vacation. It was the best vacation I've had in my professional life, largely because you helped me set an intention heading into it, and I knew you were thinking about that with me. So that was awesome. The other thing I would say is that I have known you from a distance for a lot longer than I actually worked with you as a coach, just crossing paths in Boston. And so I would also want someone considering to work with you to know that you are extraordinarily wise and your wisdom is good. And and that is something that anyone should want in their life.
Well, I wasn't wasn't expecting that, but I really appreciate that. And I am a huge fan of you and what you're doing. And yeah, we'll keep going. Okay.
Thanks, Al.
All right, buddy. And I always forget to turn it off.